Let's talk more about this with Fadi Hakura, who's a Turkey analyst at the Chatham House think tank here in London. Thanks for coming in to talk to us. Why do you think this has escalated in this way?
I think that the Prime Minister has really adopted a very defiant, confrontational approach towards the protests that are taking place in Istanbul and across Turkey. He's already accused them of being extremists. He's criticised also the criticisms by international media, as well as by the United States and the European Union. He's also suggested that there's a link between the protesters and foreign plotters. So this kind of their very tough approach is really provoking the protests even further.
And what's going on? We heard Anita talking there about the conciliatory tone in contrast that the Turkish president has been taking. Why that difference in tone between these two?
Both the Prime Minister of Turkey, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, and Turkey's President Abdullah Gül come from have a very different approach to politics. Prime Minister Erdogan traditionally is more like a street fighter, whereas President Gül is more of a conciliatory political figure.
So given what you've said about that, I mean, how damaging is it that Turkey has got these kind of images being projected worldwide, and also having, as you mentioned, criticism from the EU and from the US?
No doubt this is extremely damaging to Turkey's international reputation. The government worked for many years to foster a positive image of itself, to project that Turkey is an advanced democracy and improving democracy, but overnight this reputation has been severely tarnished.
So where do you see this going next, given that so far we've had a fairly tough stance, as you mentioned, from the Prime Minister?
I suspect that the President of Turkey will take a more proactive stance to calm the situation. I think that the government of Turkey will come under increasing international pressure to restore law and order and to bring these demonstrations to an end.
And at the moment, I mean, what is the biggest complaint, do you think, from those who are protesting? I mean, is it simply that they feel that they're not being listened to?
That's one of the complaints, of course, is that they feel the government is intolerant to their concerns. At the same time, also, they're unhappy at the rapid race of urbanization and the construction boom that's taking place without due regard to local environmental issues. At the same time, also, they're most important of all, they're very, very unhappy in the way that the government, they feel, is trying to restrict their lifestyle choices, such as a few weeks ago, the government passed some very tight restrictions on the sale, promotion and consumption of alcohol.
And we've heard the Prime Minister dismissing this idea that it's anything like the Arab Spring. He's saying it's not a Turkish Spring. People don't know what they're talking about if they say that. Is that a fair assessment on his part? I think
that it is a fair assessment. The Arab Spring essentially toppled dictators such as former Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak, whereas in Turkey has been a functioning democracy since 1950. Prime Minister Erdogan was democratically elected in 2011, receiving almost half the national vote. So the situation is very different between Turkey and the Arab Spring countries.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. Fadi Hakura with your analysis there. Thank you, we appreciate it.